Hey guys, what's up? It's Danielle. So for today's video, we're gonna go back into the world of planners. Not that we ever really leave, but you know what I mean. So as you all know, I have been in a different spot as far as planners are concerned as of late. And excuse me, I recently purchased a faux traveler's notebook off of Amazon, which I have really been enjoying. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to show you guys how I set it up and everything. But I just kind of wanted you guys to understand where I'm at in my head and also in my planner journey. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that I haven't really been that obsessed with planners for very long. I think it really started about like 4 years ago, and then I pretty much just went insane with it all. Started out ring bound, started out with an Erin Condren. I know. And then went to ring bound, went from ring bound to discbound, and I've kind of gone backwards and gone from discbound back to ring bound, and now I'm going from ring bound to TN. So it's definitely been an interesting experience, and what I really enjoy seeing, at least through my experiences, is just, you know, what works for me and what doesn't, because everybody is different. So there's that, first of all. The second thing is I really just wanted to get back to the basics. And you guys know I love to create my own stuff. Doesn't always look aesthetically pleasing. Like, I'll be honest, it does not look aesthetically pleasing like 400% of the time. But as long as it works for me and it's, you know, functional, I don't really care. And I know a lot of people aren't really into that. So anyways, that's just kind of where I've always been at. But especially now, I'm really enjoying the more functional aspect of planning, and I actually enjoy it again. I think what really happened with the discbound is kind of what's happened to me every other time that I've had a planner, where it's like, and I apologize for saying, I try not to, but anyways, I think what it really comes down to is you kind of put pressure on yourself to plan and to plan out your weeks or your day, your months, whatever. And it kind of takes the joy out of everything. And, you know, life is not always steady. It's not always constant. You get stuff thrown at you and you got to learn how to deal with it. So sometimes you may not be able to plan out your week or your day, what have you. And it's normal. You know, it's very normal. And I think for a lot of us, we kind of struggle with that because we are creatures of habit, and having a planner of some sort even makes it a little bit worse. But I was really pressuring myself into, you know, setting up my inserts and all this kind of stuff, and I kind of got to the point where I was like, I don't really want to. You know, I am a busy lady and I have work. I, you know, try to take care of my apartment. There's a lot of moving components in my life right now, and I don't have time for that. And it took me a very long time to figure that out. So that being said, the time that I do devote to my planner now is not nearly as much as it used to be. And maybe that's just a sign that my life is changing. I'm not really sure, but I definitely do not spend hours and hours, you know, just working on my planner stuff like I used to. And that I haven't really done since, I think, like 2017 when I was cranking out videos like more than a couple times a week. So that being said, that's just kind of how I came to this conclusion. You guys are going to see when I show you my TN that it is very basic. It is very bare bones. I kind of went back to a bullet journal style, and I really do like that because, you know, doesn't involve like a million stickers and whatever. And you guys know my policy with stickers: if I like it, I'll stick it on there. If I'm feeling it, I'll stick it on there. If I'm not, it's fine. And doing that, I think, has just kind of helped me to keep things in perspective. Not to say that, you know, you can't use like stickers all the time and have stuff still be functional. But for me personally, it's just too much to fuss with. And if I end up having to fuss with something a lot, I generally tend to run away from it. So I kind of like the whole set it and forget it. So that being said, I'm going to take you guys into my TN. And if you haven't watched my unboxing video, I would definitely recommend that first so that you can really see what it looked like when I pulled it out of the box. I have made a couple of changes. I added one thing in and I took one thing out, which I will get into. But this is what it looks like. It's like this really nice kind of deep brown leather, and I think it's going to hold up pretty well. Obviously, the scratches are normal, you know. I think it's just part of the wear and tear of it. But it does seem to be pretty well made, and I have been loving this thing. It's actually a pretty decent size. I believe this is the 6.7 by 4 inches. So I have no clue what size TN that is, but if anybody else knows, feel free to leave it down in the comments. So it is a really good size. You know, I totally could add more if I wanted to. Although I think at this point I would probably just buy a whole nother TN or something. I don't know. I really, really like this part, which just kind of holds everything together so that it's not just the band, like the elastic band. And my cousin actually made a really good point that I could use this part as like a pen holder or a pen loop. And I'm not the biggest fan of pen loops or pen holders on planners just because it's always like in the way, and I just, whatever. So this is another thing that I really like. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that, but right here it says, where there's a will, there's a way. And I absolutely love that because every time I look at this, it just makes me, I don't know, kind of motivates me in a weird way. Never really thought that a planner could motivate me that much, but okay. So the one thing I will say is that the inside is, you can see it's kind of like grainy, or I don't really know how to describe that. I tried to kind of like burn it off, but I'm kind of thinking you might need to take a razor to it. I'm probably just going to leave it alone just because I don't really want to ruin the leather or whatever material this is. I hope it's leather. And yeah, the cords, which I don't know if you guys could see this, I kind of had to do like a ghetto rig because they weren't sitting the way that I wanted them to. Like my middle insert would pop out, excuse me, more than the other ones would. But they have like these little things that hold the bands together at the bottom, and then you have more of the brass detailing on the side. So anyways, let me grab my phone. I'm going to turn you guys around and then we will get into this. I'm going to apologize in advance because I will be filming this one-handed, so y'all know how that goes. I really, really need to buy a phone holder for when I film, but you know. So anyways, let's get into it. Okay guys, so here we go. I'm just going to show you what I'm using as far as writing utensils are concerned. Just a Paper Mate Inkjoy gel in the 0.7 and a gray mild liner. I am getting into using a Sharpie pen, just, you know, in the black. I think this is 0.8, so it's like a medium point, but definitely love these. So that's just kind of what I'm using right now, just super simplistic. And as you can see, this is already getting a little bit of wear and tear on it. It was actually in my purse all day when I was at work, and I actually took my purse with me for once, so it's kind of surprising. But this is what it looks like when you open it. So I already went ahead and took out, you know, all the sensitive information and everything like that. But this is kind of what I've been doing for dailies. I know it's kind of wasteful, but I've just been using like a Post-it or something. I might just switch to like a small piece of paper that I put in this pocket, but I really like doing it this way because then I don't have to use up any of the space in my actual notebooks. So I really like that. But this was just from yesterday, and just, you know, highlighting as I accomplish things, and then anything that I don't get done just gets migrated. So, you know, just like with a bullet journal, I have some quotes by Hanson. That's also what's under here. And yeah, they're probably like my favorite band. I know that's dorky, but whatever. And then we come to the first notebook, which this did come with the planner. So I just put some stickers on here from one of the Happy Planner sticker books. This is a little patch from Staples a while back. And then this is what it looks like on the inside. So I just have a couple of stickers. I don't actually know why I put this one right here, but it's in there. And then I have all of this stuff in here. So I'll show you guys my, what am I trying to say? My key for my bullet journal style in a few minutes, a little bit later on in the video. But this is basically what it's looking like. Excuse me. And I'm not really trying to have everything go in order because as much as I try to, you know, life doesn't always happen that way. So basically, just as things are thrown at me, I will put them in here. And if it's like a task, excuse me, I'll just check it off, but I still will highlight if it's done. And then I just have some names covered up, and then I'm using an ollie clip, and that is literally all I have in here for right now until you get to the back cover, which just has some reminders like my next Grove shipment. And then I have some sticky notes from Walmart for Valentine's Day. So this is just like one of my 2 sets of categories that I use. I have my channel art because you guys know I love it. And then this right here, I made this myself, and I think I accidentally used regular printer paper. Meant to use 28-pound paper, but that's okay. So just have some quotes, and this actually serves as like a monthly. So you can see I have May right in here, and I would say I probably reserve this for my most important things. So any like tasks that I have, I don't really put them on here, even if they're like recurring. So I just have this, which you guys have seen me use these on and off all the time. These are from the Target Dollar Spot like 2 years ago, as are the labels. Those are from this year at the Target Dollar Spot. And then on the back, I'm just tracking holidays, birthdays, and then things that I need to do for the month. So these are like out of the ordinary things. Like I wouldn't be sending an RSVP to a wedding every month. So there's that. And just kind of trying to set things up a little bit in advance. I don't really want to write all this in yet because I don't know exactly what's, going to happen. So I just kind of have it hanging out right there for now. And then I have an if found, please call thing right there. Have one of my favorite quotes of all time. And this notebook is kind of like for reference. So I have my kind of bullet journal key over here. And you can see it's pretty simplistic, I think, anyways, except for when you get to the tasks. And then this is another one of my, another one of my sets of categories. Have a morning and an evening cleaning routine. Doesn't happen all the time, but for the most part it does. Laundry routine as of right now, always subject to change, of course. And then this is a decision-making matrix. I can't remember where I found this, but I ended up randomly finding it on Google, and I loved it so much, so I put it in here. I also have the 9 dimensions of wellness, which I did share that with you guys before when I was still in my arc. And then 2 minutes to peace. This is something that you can, fine tune to your needs. So if you're feeling kind of overwhelmed in a certain area of your house, then you can just do one of these and, it's supposed to put you a little bit more at ease. And then this is all stuff for my continued recovery from my eating disorder. And then I have some meal planning stuff on this side. These are just tips that I've, written down and I've had for like forever, and I don't want to forget about them. Probably going to add to it as well. Got some quotes over here. And then this right here is just stuff that I can do on the weekends. I'm actually trying a little bit harder now to go ahead and do stuff on the weekends and not just be like a stick in the mud and do my normal stuff. So we'll see how that pans out. I will definitely try to take you guys with me if it's exciting enough. And then in the very back, I have just some little random notes. And then this is like monthly to-dos, not necessarily monthly, but a lot of it is monthly, like cleaning the vacuum and the dishwasher, the fridge, the freezer, blah, blah, blah. Random sticker from Recollections. And then in this pocket, I just have some of my favorite stickers from Recollections. And I also have this, which just came with the notebook. So, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it kind of worked, So, anyways, that is everything that I have right now. I know it is very, very low key, but that's kind of what I'm going for. The only things that I didn't share with you guys are just the information for my dentist and my dermatologist, and then my budgeting stuff that I'm trying to have, get started in June. So, yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can ask me obviously on here, or you can find me on Snapchat or Instagram. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I will talk to you on my next video. Bye, guys.